Hello, Liz and Rick. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So today I'll be going over my midterm project. I first want to just thank you um, for just this project in general. Being a new teacher, I've implemented so much, and I'll be going into detail in this screencast video on how much that I've been implementing in my classroom based on the content that I've been learning in this class, and I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to learn what learning in your class and then applying it directly onto my LMS. And so I'm going to go ahead and here's the rubric right here, and I want to go ahead and start off with the use of digital tools. And so I'm going to kind of get you into the world, the life of Coach King's class, take you on an adventure to go over what does a typical day look like with Coach King, what are the things that he's doing, what does his LMS look like. And so some of the digital tools that kind of hit on this part of the rubric that my students are using, they are using multiple digital tools in my class because I want to get them to opportunity to touch on different things that maybe they're not familiar with, but also to kind of enhance that learning and to support that learning process. So some of the things that you would typically see my students use, of course, would be something like Flipgrid. So I do discussions here, and I typically will do the cool face or the lion face. And so they do Flipgrids in my class where they create videos responding to not only videos that I create, but videos that the other students in the classroom are creating. And they're able, depending on if I make it private or not, respond to each other's videos and further that learning, further that deeper understanding of the concepts that they are learning in class. Most students, maybe do not like to write. And so giving that option to respond in a video setting has been huge. Of course, I'm giving those students options to interact with one another through discussions and discussion forums. But Flipgrid is a great digital tool for students to use that feel more comfortable just talking with another through video. And so that's something that they use. Students definitely love Adobe Spark. And so I implemented it this year. This is something I learned in actually one of my master classes, and my students absolutely love it. It's a great way for opportunity for students to create presentations that they can present to the class, and it's very easy to use. And as you can see, it's very updated and modern, so students are very comfortable with using this form of digital tool. Students are using WeVideo, which allows them to add music, allows them to add pictures, commentary, break things down. And obviously you can use it for a business, education, or even life setting. So students are absolutely loving this digital tool. It gives them a different option, right? Instead of using the same digital tool every single class to demonstrate their learning or to do an assignment, WeVideo and these other different digital tools are great ways for them to use that. And then lastly, Canva. This is some other things, and obviously I'm not going to go over everything that they use, but these are kind of the main things that they're using. Canva is great because it allows them to create certain like social media posts or Instagram posts or posters or Facebook posts that has to do with the content that they're learning. So for instance, our next project will be working on a nutritional project, and so they'll create an Instagram post including all the information that needs to be in a specific dietary plan. So it's kind of taking them outside the box, something that they're familiar with, something they have prior knowledge on, but they're applying it to something that's educational. So to kind of hit on that standard, those are some of the multiple digital tools that my students are learning in the class. As far as elements of visual design, right? So this section of the rubric, let me give you an example of what kind of breaks down. So here's my breakdown as far as the Google Classroom. Google Classroom is my LMS. I would love to use different LMSs, but this is the one the school is providing for us to use. And as you can see, each class is broken down into a different color and kind of a different sport, which students absolutely love. So my 6th grade class is like a football, my 7th grade class is volleyball, and then as you can see, my 6th grade distance learners are track and then a bicycle, which many of my students love to do. And so kind of clicking on just one general class, you can kind of see the breakdown here. So I always have at the top the Zoom meeting link that students can click on and access our Zoom meetings. Always here's an assignment list. So students can access that information on all the assignments and the dates in which they're due. So they don't have to go to multiple places. They can always just go to this one assignment list and find all of your assignments and their due dates. And so students really love that. And the way I break this down is into assignments and resources. So as you can see, week 2 assignments, here are all the week 2 assignments. And then here I have a list of week 2 resources that these are all resources that are going to help the students understand, one, maybe the content that they're learning this week, or two, help them understand what's being asked of them in the assignment. I understand that many of the students may miss a class or they may have to be somewhere. So what I do is I pre-lecture videos going over the assignment. So as you can see here, there was an assignment, letter to yourself. And so what I did was create a video on describing what my expectations were for that assignment. So if they do forget or weren't there for the assignment or for that day, and they can just refer to the video and get a better understanding of what's being asked of them in that assignment. So every week is broken down to assignments and resources. As you can see here, week 4 assignments, week 4 resources. So students know exactly where to go to when they're looking for assignments, and they know exactly where to go to when they're looking for resources to better understand the content or better understand the assignments that they need to complete for that week. Now, looking at the student collaboration, so I kind of spoke to this earlier. Students have multiple opportunities to collaborate with another, whether that be through Flipgrid, whether that be through live classroom discussions and forums. These are multiple ways that students are able to kind of collaborate with each other, which I think is great and is very important. One of the things that we did initially in the beginning of the class was students created a presentation about themselves, which is our Get to Know You project. And what I did was I posted it on a doc, and all the students were able to look at each other's kind of Get to Know You projects and get to know each other as a class. Luckily, students were able to come back on campus, but this was before then, and students had no idea who was in their class. And so allowing them to have discussions with one another and be like, I really liked this about you. Oh yeah, well, I also bicycle in my free time, or I do fencing, and these are the types of things that students were able to kind of build that bond amongst each other through just simple assignments like this, which I really do appreciate and enjoy, and the students enjoy. So going on to the next rubric kind of section is talking about synchronous and asynchronous learning environments. So beyond having synchronous meetings twice a week, I also created my LMS based on the things that you talked about in the lectures and in the assignments that you provided. So my LMS, my Google Classroom, is structured in a manner in which it can be asynchronous. And so I understand a lot of my students travel or they have to miss things for here and there. And so I built it to where every single one of my assignments has a pre-lectured video going over how to complete that assignment. And you can see this, here's a quiz and here's a video on the things I was talking about. So I'll create a video going over that assignment or going over those slides. So in case they miss that live interaction, that synchronous meeting, there's an opportunity for them to go back to the resources and kind of not miss that, because I talked about it and I pre-lectured it for them. So these are the things I do. Also creating videos for them. I did a personalized video talking about how to do a proper push-up and what's the difference between sets and reps. And so again, hitting on that section of the rubric that you're asking of us is, if students ever missed anything, whether that be absent or they completely forgot or didn't take notes on the synchronous learning that we had for the day, they can everything's there for them to go back and kind of get that one-on-one instruction and kind of rewind as many times as they like to get that instruction. I found that pivotal, and I know Liz and Rick, you guys talked about that, right? Providing that opportunity for students to go back and access that information at any time, 24/7. Both textbooks that you provided for us they put highlighted on how important it was that students were able to access the information that you were teaching 24/7. And so that's some of the things that I'm doing as far as in my class to kind of hit on that point. And then the next is utilizing understanding by UDB design. So I definitely love this, because I know here's one of the assignments that kind of we created for that class, and kind of directly to give you an idea of, after I created this, which was amazing, I thank you for this, I went in and I created the project. And so let me kind of give you a visual of what that UBD design looks like. And so my students had to imagine for themselves that they were a trainer, a fitness trainer, and they had to create a fitness plan specific to the teachers on campus. And so we're kind of building in the community. We're kind of focusing on actually applying what they were learning in class to real life scenarios. And so in this project, as you can see, my 6th and 7th graders have 2 different things that they're doing. And so I kind of put them in the setting of you are a fitness trainer, you're developing this state-of-the-art fitness plan for your clients, which are going to be teachers on the campus. And they absolutely love this because these were teachers that they grew up with since kindergarten. And so they have a deep connection to these teachers. So it was a further engagement, further motivation to inspire them to kind of do this. And so here they have the directions and everything. And what was really cool was at the bottom here, each teacher of their clients created a video. So here is a video of one of our teachers talking about another video of just kind of introductory, telling the students how excited they were to see their fitness plans and to be following along with their fitness plans. And so we're kind of giving that real life scenario, which is kind of hitting on that UBD's design. And so they're actually currently going to be doing this week, the performance task. And so we're kind of hitting on that acquisition. We're hitting on the meaning. What are the essential questions? Why are we doing what we're doing? And tying in the importance of fitness and why is it so important to our everyday life. And so this is kind of something that I just wanted to connect to, that right after doing this assignment, I actually started to begin to create this for my students. And I think it's going to be critical in their learning experience and their engagement throughout this assignment and this assessment. And then so lastly, kind of going over the alignment, the ISTE standards. And so I think I have it up here. Here they are. So in the beginning of the year, talking about empowered learner, right? Getting students to set personal goals. What my students did was they did that. They created goals, and I can go ahead and show you. So they created a SMART goals worksheet, which they completed. And it kind of went over what were their goals at the beginning of this year. So that was one assignment, and they kind of specifically talked about what their goals were. And here, here's a breakdown of what the students were doing and what they answered. Why is this goal important? And got specific with it, right? Looking over that SMART goal, not just having it generalized, but going into specifics and how exactly are you going to achieve that goal. And students did that assignment. Another thing that they did in my class was a letter to yourself. So it was a letter talking about their future goals, what they wanted for themselves, how they were going to get there. And the students absolutely loved this assignment. And so I kind of gave them some topics to consider, some sentence starters and things of that sort. So definitely hitting on those ISTE standards. We also kind of went over the research strategies and how to be a digital citizen. And so those are some of the things that were built into the initial structure. And one of the things I thought was critical in this ISTE standards was problem solving, right? And so students with this first project the problem is that these teachers want to get back in shape, right? They want to develop a fitness plan for themselves, but they don't necessarily know how to do that. And so these students are finding a solution. They're creating a solution for the community at our school, for our teachers, to help them meet their own personal physical fitness goals. And the students are helping solve that problem for our teachers, which is great. And it's giving the teachers on campus a starting place to start at reaching their physical fitness goals. And so we're definitely hitting on that. And of course, the creative communicator, right? Looking at communication skills and then global collaborator. So what we hope to do in our class is create a website that they're going to continue to add everything that they're learning in the class. And then in a sense, they're going to be creating their portfolio. Where everything that they're learning and everything that they're doing, they're going to put on their own personal website that they're going to develop, and eventually being able to have others access that website when looking to improve upon their nutrition, when looking to improve upon their fitness or their mental state, or whatever it may be in the world of physical education and health. Me as an educator, I want to take physical education to the next level. It is not just a class that we play in, but a class that we're learning daily and applying what we're learning and teaching others how to be physically fit and be healthy, because it's one of the most important things I think that we can teach our students. And so I hope that I hit and answered every single one of the elements in this rubric and in this midterm. I hope you enjoyed kind of the things that I've done and I continue to do in my class and on my LMS. I've learned so much from this class and from you, Liz and Rick. I really do appreciate it. This class has made me a better educator, has made me a better colleague, and overall a better person for my students. And so I want to thank you so much. Have an absolutely great week, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else I can learn in this class and apply it to my classroom. Take care.